Hello and welcome back to another Intro to Excel video. My name is David Eitel, and in today's video we're going to be going over conditional formatting basics. This is in response to a few friends of mine who are asking questions about conditional formatting, how to use it, and how to cascade the functions down. So if you're out there and you're watching this, you know who you are. Let's get started. First things first, before we get into how to use conditional formatting, let's talk about what it is. The conditional formatting tool is here on the Excel kind of command bar or executive bar up here. And the way it works is basically you can select a cell or a rank of cells, right, a grouping of cells, and do a preset conditional format. Now, the nice thing here is that there are some logical consistencies. Let me just show you. Let's take this data set we have here. And conditional formatting is heavily used with very specific data sets. So don't think that it's just applicable to everything, but there is some really cool ways to use it. We'll take these 20 test scores that we have from our series of data, and we are going to highlight, let's just say, anything that is greater than. And you can see here what we're doing is we're putting conditional formatting that says when a number is greater than, and we can put in a formula here if we want. We could actually even put in like an average formula and have it use certain data points. But we're just going to say if it's greater than 85, right? These are test scores. We'll say if it's greater than 85, we're going to fill it with a green value. Awesome. So here's all of our B plus to A plus scores. Not a lot of them in this data set. Maybe we're going to want something that is, let's say, the top 10%. We want the top 10% of our data scheme or data pool to be yellow. So that means of these 20s, the top two are going to be highlighted yellow. And that's probably this 94 here and this 93 are our top two. You'll see that when you have multiple conditions or rules in place with conditional formatting, that it doesn't always work the way you expect it to. It can kind of muddle with each other. If you're wondering, if you're ever looking at a data set and wondering what the conditional formatting is, take a look at the Manage Rules. So if you click on the conditional formatting button and you come here to Manage Rules, you can see that we have two overlying rules here. And if you want to delete one, let's say we want to get rid of our top 10% one, we're going to delete that rule. We're going to hit apply, and you can see this turns back yellow, or it goes to green from yellow. That's because the old rule is now eliminated. These rules can get really weird, especially if you use those pre-made ones and you're shifting your data a lot. We'll get rid of all of those. I like to make a lot of my rules my own. I like to build my own rules, which you'll do here by just coming in and saying new rule, and you can see there is just an insane amount of uniqueness you can build into this. You can do change the setting if a cell contains a certain number or value between two functions or a certain word. There's a lot of really cool things you can do there. There's sliders. You can even do some of these. We'll just scale. We'll just do this real quick. See, what that did is it started to scale the numbers. The worst ones being darker, the better ones being lighter. These are really, really cool. We'll put an icon set. Maybe we'll just do a up arrow, down arrow right there. There we go. And you can see that based on the data you select, the conditional formatting is already using some pre-built-in logic. I don't necessarily love that because you need to understand the logic, know what it's doing, and you need to select your data set properly. Now, that's just the basic of how data or conditional formatting can work with different data sets. Data bars is an interesting one as well, the way they look. Now, the key question we want to answer now is how do I make a conditional format that can be moved around my sheet, right? Can be moved around. And for that, we need a little bit better of an example. Let's go down here. We have employee number, name, and then review status. This type of data is something you might find in let's say an annual review, right? Or a check-in board. We'll make it look like that. Merge, give it a nice, there we go, green title, check-in board. So you have a list that you're working with. It's a digital list of employees that you need to check in with, and you want to know if they've been reviewed. So it's easy to write a function like this. If a formula or if a cell includes the word, so we can see if this includes the word, so if this equals completed, we are going to turn it green. We're going to turn it, and you click here for format. So just so you know, right, the way this is designed is you put in your formula up here and you put the formatting that you want changed, right? It's a condition. It's a logic framework. If this cell is equal to quotation completed, then turn it green. So we'll hit OK. Look at that, it turns green. And then if we hit anything else, like not completed, you can see it goes white again. Now, let's say I like that formula and I want to move it. We'll condition that. We'll move it right here. That's awesome. We're going to put non-completed. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Shouldn't it just cascade down like when I write a formula? That's the problem that people run into, is that when you write a conditional format, a logic, it doesn't necessarily cascade the same way when you write a formula, right? If I do a formula and I can cascade it down, like if, let's see, or, is text. We'll say is text. There we go. That's a true. If I cascade it down, you can see it follows down and it changes the reference of the formula. Conditional formatting does not work that way. And here's why. You may have noticed this when we wrote the formula. We're going to come here to manage rules. You can see our rule here, and we're going to edit it using the edit button. Now, if you see this right here, you see that we have equals and then a locked in C26. Now, those dollar signs, I wish I could zoom in a little better for you, for those of you who are looking at this. It goes $C, $26. Now, those dollar signs are locks, right? They lock in the cell reference. You can do the same thing with the F4 key. Now, if we were to remove these references, if we were to remove these references like the 26 lock, which means that if we move this down, it'll move with it. We could even move the C, and there we go, we'd have no cell reference. Now, when we hit apply, we hit OK, we pull this formatting down, and you can see if we type in completed now, that turns green. If we go non, it turns green. If we turn non up here. Now, that is how, let's spell it correctly, completed. That is how you actually move a conditional formatting and have it cascade down. In fact, if we pull this down and we say non, or you can even just leave it blank. That's nice too. That is a way to make conditional formatting roll down. Now, the next thing here is some people say, well, hey, I want my conditional formatting to span across the whole row or the whole column. I want to be able to drag that down. You can do the same thing. Just remember, when you write your conditional formatting, it's applying the condition to the cell that you're selecting. So if we come here and we select the entire column, and then we take our conditional formatting, we're going to say new rule. We're going to do formula. We are going to write it. I like to get rid of that. I hit the little up button. That brings it to a small. Equals, if this cell, get rid of our $ lock, is equal to, quote, completed, then format it. We'll say light green. We'll go a little easy on the eyes here. Okay. To make sure that this doesn't confront with our other rule, we're going to delete that one, hit apply. And you can see now if I type in completed, the whole column turns green. Now, if I want to cascade this down, you might have noticed I'm using the format printer tool. This tool up here, format printer, it copies the formatting, including conditional formatting, to the cell of your choice. Now, you can see that works. That was great, right? This worked out, but it's not actually copying the entire column's logic. Remember, the conditional formatting, just like any formatting, is only applied to the cells you select. So to move my conditional formatting, I have to select the whole row, select the conditional formatting, and then pull it down. Pull it down like so. Conditional format, grab all of these. There we go. Completed. So that is the basics. There's a lot more there. That was quick, but this was mainly to just kind of get the concept down. Conditional formatting, it's really important that you know how to write your own rules. Hit new rule, kind of get used to these different rule types and structures. We're going to do a whole nother video on all of that, but this was a short one today. Format values, write your formula. Make sure the locking isn't built in, right? Get rid of those cell reference locks, and then you can move them and cascade them down the way you want. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please feel free to hit a like, a comment, subscribe. I'm trying to post videos on anything that people ask directly. And as always, we'll hopefully see you in the next one. See you later.